Right, here we go.
Yes, with an episode in which we're probably going to use up just about every kitchen-related poem we can think of, because this week's challenge between Otis and Polly is a foodie one.
Yes, but are their culinary skills more Michelin Man than Michelin Star?
Yeah, possibly more Master Chief than Master Chef.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Little video game reference.
Yes, indeed. Well, let's see what they cook up for starters.
Our challenge this week was going to stretch our culinary skills to the max.
Yes, we each had to set up our own food stall at the Stand and Calling Music Festival and compete to see who could sell the most food to the hungry revellers.
But there was a catch. On our food stalls, we'd only be able to use consumer kitchen tech to make our food. Now, I've been to many music festivals and I've even dared to try the food at a good few of them. I know what festival goers want: good old-fashioned fast food. So I headed to the training kitchens at Walsall College, where I would try a bunch of kitchen gadgets to make some Michelin masterpieces. Right, so we're going to kick things off with the Thermomix. Now, this is a food processor. It weighs, mixes, simmers and steams. And I was going to use it to make that traditional British post-pub favourite, a Ruby Murray. Multiple pans, grills and ovens are so last century. Onions peeled and quartered. Using the Thermomix's blender and cooking options, I'd be able to make a curry from scratch. No cooking skills required. Should we just leave it at that? Yeah. But I could only hope it tasted better than it looked. I've got chicken and I've got curry. But the two won't come together for some reason. You know, it needs more time for the flavour to get into the chicken. There was definitely something missing. Maybe some rice would improve it. So for that, I had the Star Chef Deluxe, a multifunction cooker that I'm sure in the right hands is great. Not bad. But mine weren't the right hands. If you like your rice firm enough to break your teeth.
I guessed Otis would go down the savoury route, so I decided to go for something sweet.
Wow. Hi, guys.
I went to the Cake Gallery in Birmingham, where I was soon whipping up some cupcake mix in a Kenwood titanium food processor.
Look at that. Look, there's no lumps or anything.
I had a neat little cupcake maker that I hoped would give me perfect results with a minimum amount of effort.
12 minutes, and hopefully I'll have perfect cupcakes.
Whilst the cupcake maker did its thing, I got busy making donuts with Rachel Allen's crispy donut maker.
Works on the same premise as the cupcakes. You put the mixture into here, shut the lid, leave it for about 3 minutes, and hey presto, you should have crispy donuts.
But I soon found a flaw in my fast food plan.
Oh, this takes ages. Can you imagine having to do this every time just to fill donut holes?
Still, I persevered. And after 3 minutes of baking, the moment of truth.
Eek. Yeah. It's not very often I'm kind of lost for words. I shall, however, just for the sake of it, put some jam in one. Anyone want a donut? They're minging.
After the donut disaster, my cupcakes were finally ready. Would they fare any better?
So, does that look like it makes a good cupcake?
No.
Do you know what? I love cake. And I'll pretty much eat anything. Even I think they taste disgusting.
Back in my kitchen, I was getting busy with the Wonder Cooker. It can slow cook, steam, saute, grill, roast, and flash fry. Fish supper, anyone? Flash fry! Okay, now visually speaking, this is possibly my biggest success. Oh, wow. So, fish and chips could be an option. But what about something a bit quicker and not so fishy? What about egg fried rice cooked in an electric wok? Okay, so this is the Prolectrix electric wok. No cooker required. You simply plug it in. You've got a hot plate there, 1200 watts of power, nice and simple. Well, that rice isn't any softer than it was when I tried it over there.
Oops, oops. Otis's cooking woes were nothing compared to mine. Candy floss machines and me don't mix.
If I have customers queuing up for candy floss, I don't think they're going to be happy with that one. Does anyone want that one? Oh, I broke it.
And please don't mention the waffle maker.
I'm seriously not sure if any customer is going to want to try this, the good side and the dark side.
With less than 2 weeks to go till the festival, I was starting to run out of tech options.
Where I was about to play my ace, the Bellissimo Stone Bake Pizza Oven. It was bound to impress trainee chef Georgina. You can see it, can't you? This is going to be the best pizza ever made by man. I had very high hopes for this tech. Look inside. Look, the pizza's turning. But it all went very wrong very quickly. Let's hope it tastes better than it looks.
On 3, yeah? 3.
Chewy, huh? It would now be wrong to blame the tech for the bad things.
Pizza was disgusting. Georgina's face said it all, didn't it?
OK, right, so I nearly poisoned the student, but my breaded fish was good.
All this tech, you guys. And you were licking utensils, I saw you.
It's the only way it tasted good. Everything I could tasted awful.
You've got a mountain to climb. You guys have got to serve festival goers food that's actually edible.
Welcome back. Now, we want to talk to you about Translator Apps.
Oui, même le plus habile entre nous a eu l'occasion d'aller étranger, essayant de commander un repas ou simplement d'obtenir des directions à l'aéroport.
Thanks, John, which roughly translated means if you're after a translation app, then you've come to the right place.
But after my experience with standalone translators a year or two ago, I was pretty apprehensive about trying out another one.
Yeah, so we sent John off to Pisa, where conveniently they speak a different language, with 3 of what we think are some of the most promising translator apps.
First on test was Speech Trans on the iPhone. Using the app's dictation mode, I decided to start with a taxi ride. Oh, here's one. Take me to the centre of Pisa, please. Prendetemi al centro di Pisa, per favore.
OK, perfetto.
Oh, very good. Well, that went rather well. And it even coped with the noisy traffic. But then he asked me a question.
Da che parte andiamo?
Oops, he's asking me a question. To translate a voice, the app needs to record it first, and queuing the taxi driver proved to be a bit tricky.
Da che parte andiamo? Da che parte andiamo?
But when you do get the timing right, it does work really well. Let's see what he was saying.
Which way we go?
Which way we go? Ooh. I was rather hoping he was in charge of that. This Speech Trans is some of the best speech recognition software I've tried. Even in these relatively noisy conditions, it's consistently accurate. But like most translation apps, there is a problem. You need a good internet connection on the go, and that usually means 3G, which can be expensive.
Divertiti a Pisa.
Have fun in Pisa. Grazie, I will. This short chat cost me several pounds. Next up, iSpeech on the BlackBerry, and I had problems almost immediately. Now, I'm using 3G again, but trouble is I'm finding the app just isn't working at all, so I've gone a bit out of my way into one of Pisa's free open-air Wi-Fi hotspots to see if it'll work here. That's before I practice my Italian on passers-by. Once again, I tried out the app's dictation mode, but this didn't go well. Please direct me to the Leaning Tower. Please direct me to help. Let's try again. Please direct me to the Leaning Tower. The voice recognition software used by iSpeech was really struggling, even with the most basic sentence. Please direct me to talk. I mean, useless. This was disappointing. It should be able to cope with 20 languages, but I found it had trouble coping with just 1. So I had to resort to typing my questions, and all I could do was hope that it was better at picking up Italian than English.
Quella direzione lì.
So hello to propose some very. Maybe it would cope better with a female voice.
Deve andare di là, da quella parte lì.
Well, go run over there. I'm sure she didn't say that. No. Now, I'd like to be able to say the more I persevered, the better it got. But I can't, because it didn't.
torre di Pisa è in quella direzione.
A given shooting in that direction. Sounds like an area to avoid.
La torre di Pisa è là.
Withdraw. Sure was Pisa. Right, I've learnt it's that way again. I'm getting closer, but I don't think this is any help. So I abandoned eye speech and started walking. Right, well, I've made it, and very wonderful it is too. But it was no great thanks to eye speech, which certainly didn't help make it a quick journey. Time to find somewhere for lunch with my third translation app, Google Translate for Android. Google Translate comes with 15 different languages you can use speech recognition to translate between, and 50 different languages if you want to type in text to translate. I guess the first thing I need to translate is, can I have a menu, please? Potrei avere un menu, per favore?
Prego, signore.
Ah, excellent. Jolly good. Now, what I want to know is what the local specialities are, so let's see if I can translate. What are the local specialities? It had the occasional wobble. Oh no, I've got what are the medical specialities. But on the whole, it was great. What are the local specialities? Translating, what are the local specialities? Excellent.
Quali sono le specialità locali?
Now I've got to switch the languages around now, so if we go from Italian to English.
È una gustosissima bistecca fiorentina.
A tasty Florentine steak, sounds perfect. And that's pretty good, isn't it, really? I mean, I know it's not instant, but I'm really rather impressed with this. Another thing I really liked was its ability to translate text using the camera. Now, while he's getting that, I can think about dessert, and I can use Google Goggles, which is also free, and it allows you to take a picture of words, it recognises them, then I can cut and paste it and put it into Google Translate. Let's try here. Now, once it's recognised the words, which it has, perfectly, excellent. If I tap on them, so translate, detect language, Italian auto, yes, it's translating into English, chocolate, pear slices, rum and vanilla sugar. Yummy.
John, G ratings, please.
Well, first of all, I've got to dismiss iSpeech Translator. I'm afraid that's no Gs. It really was horribly frustrating and useless. Now, Google Translate, 3 Gs for that. It is free, it's not perfect, but lots and lots of different languages, and there's Google Goggles to go with it as well. Speech Trans, I'm going to give 3 Gs to that as well. I mean, it is useful for somebody who needs longer translations, though I didn't think overall there was that much difference in the accuracy.
Do you mind if I just come out of this link in Italian? Is that OK? Can I borrow it?
Yeah.
I'll borrow this one. Let's give it a go. Thanks, John.
Grazie, Giovanni.
For more gadget goodness, head on over to channel5.com/Gadget Show, where you can see even more of Pollyanna and John testing the latest tech, as well as catching up on the hottest launches and the latest gadget news. It's live right now, so get on over there.
Suzi, have I got something to show you?
What, are you going to do some cleaning?
No, not some cleaning. I'm going to demonstrate the latest in high-fashion wearable luggage. Check it out. This is from Rufus Ruse, the big pocket company, and it came about due to the frustration of having to pay extra to take extra baggage onto budget airlines. Why should you have to do that when you could wear your luggage? Look.
You just called it high fashion.
Are you disagreeing with me?
Yeah, you so am.
Check it out, look. I've got pockets for days, endless things in here, look. See? What can I get you? What can I get you?
No, what else have you got in there?
Look, I got that. I don't even know what that is.
That's actually good.
I can see someone like you wearing this.
How dare you?
It doesn't stop. Hey? And finally, yeah? And it's got to be said, Suzi, when there's nothing in the pockets, it still looks
absolutely awful.
Yeah, you're right. It looks terrible, doesn't it?
You got some good accessories in there, though. These are good. Photographers will always tell you that the key to taking a good picture is in the lighting or the composition or even the subject. But here on the Gadget Show, we reckon that you can cheat a little bit by using camera accessories. And to prove my point, I took 5 of my favourite camera accessories and went on a very professional
With small bodies, better lenses and more megapixels than ever, cameras can guarantee a lot these days. But what they can't guarantee is whether or not the pictures you take will be any good.
Fortunately, though, for us casual photographers, there are plenty of camera accessories out there designed to give us a helping hand, and they don't all cost a fortune.
At number 5, go hands-free with the Spider Pro single camera system.
If you fancy yourself as a bit of an action photographer, you might miss that all-important shot if you have to rummage around in your bag for your camera.
The Spider Pro is an ingenious gadget that allows you to attach your camera securely to a holster with a belt, meaning quick and easy access. At number 4, it's the DSLR camera remote shutter app for iPhone and iPad. This neat bit of kit allows you to operate your camera remotely, meaning that you can take snaps from tricky or dangerous positions without actually being there.
You have to download a bit of software first on your computer to use as a bridge, and obviously the app, but after that, it's plain sailing.
Remote shutter gadgets have been around for a while, but this one gives you more control than ever before. You can even alter the settings for aperture and shutter speed to create a more interesting shot.
Yes! Oh, I think there's a bit of a blur on that one. And I didn't have to get hit with it. Great.
At number 3, it's the Wi-Fi Pro X2 memory card. The Pro X2 is the most feature-packed card in the Wi-Fi range. In addition to just storing your pictures, it can also transfer them wirelessly to computers, tablets or smartphones straight from your camera.
It'll transfer your pictures as soon as it picks up your Wi-Fi network directly to either your hard drive or sites like Flickr and Facebook, and it will geotag your picture so you'll know exactly where you were when you took them. Effortless.
And if you get a bit snap-happy, then don't worry. As soon as your pictures have been safely uploaded, the Wi-Fi automatically deletes them off the card, meaning you never have to miss that perfect shot. At number 2, it's the Aqua Pack, an airtight waterproof camera bag.
Now then, there are Aqua Packs for smartphones, compact cameras, DSLRs, even iPads, and essentially they all work in the same way. You just close the fasteners tightly and your gadget is waterproof to 5 meters. Okay, in you go. And in I go. Yes, it's still dry. I just need something to take a picture of now.
Whilst in the water, accessing the buttons and controls is simple thanks to the flexible plastic. So great underwater pics are easily achievable.
That's waterproof, but these aren't.
And at number 1, it's the Polaroid GL10 zinc printer.
When I was a kid, the only way that you could see a photograph as soon as you'd taken it was with a Polaroid camera. Then along came the digital age and people stopped printing pictures. Now, to recreate that nostalgia of actually holding a print in your hand, Polaroid have come up with this, Zinc, a portable digital printer. Hey, can someone take a picture of me?
It prints images from hard drives, cameras and mobiles completely on the fly using USB or Bluetooth. It's a completely inkless printer. All the technology required is embedded into the special zinc paper that it uses. Photos print in about 45 seconds, and although the prints aren't lab quality, that was always part of the charm of instant photography.
Is my hair really that ginger?
Welcome back. Now it's time to talk Wi-Fi. And in Gadget Show days of yore, I'd have to follow that statement up with an explanation of what Wi-Fi is. That, of course, isn't the case anymore because we all know Wi-Fi. It's a big part of our lives. Surfing the web wirelessly all over the house or the office is de rigueur for most people of the digital generation. However, despite that, there are still pockets, places, sometimes where you most want Wi-Fi to work, that it fails you. God, that makes my blood boil. But worry not, because there are a few tricks you can employ to make your Wi-Fi coverage that little more robust and efficient. Useful as it is, Wi-Fi can sometimes be a nightmare. Sluggish speeds, signal dropouts, and often it's our internet service providers who get the blame. But the truth is that a dodgy Wi-Fi signal is more often than not the cause of our woes. And with more and more gadgets, from toys to tablets, making use of Wi-Fi, it's more important than ever that it works. So I've taken on a monster challenge to prove that you can improve your own Wi-Fi signal at home. This is Kenilworth Castle, the castle I call home. All right, I'm lying, I don't actually live there. It's big, it's grand, but it's not ideal as an online gamer's paradise. Thick stone walls, obstructions, huge distances between rooms, and one challenge: to get a good signal in every room. And if I can do it, so can you. First things first, your router is a radio transceiver. It transmits and receives radio signals. Therefore, it makes sense that you try and help those signals to get as far as possible. So, positioning is paramount. It should go where the radio waves can spread without any interference from other electrical equipment. That's quite a good position, big thick walls pushing the radio energy that way. But there might be somewhere even higher. A high position is best for beaming to all parts of the house. Here looks good to me. But what do you do if you don't have a data line connection nearby? That's where this technology comes in. It's called power line, and it uses your existing sockets, your electrical circuit around the house, to send your broadband signal to your router. All I've got to do now is test it in practice. This Android app, Wi-Fi Analyzer, will show you your signal strength around the house. So not surprisingly, just a few feet from the router, in the room where it's situated, I've got a very strong signal. Still very, very strong. And now I've lost it here. Wi-Fi Analyzer can also show up other potential problems. You can see it gives me a great deal of information about not just my router, which is this one here, but all the routers in the vicinity. So my neighbours' routers, maybe even some public Wi-Fi services outside. That's important because other routers can interfere with your router and reduce your signal integrity. As most routers are supplied by internet service providers, it's worth contacting yours for advice on improving your router's performance by changing settings such as the Wi-Fi channel or upgrading the firmware. Time to check my signal again. Very strong signal still, but it still wasn't reaching everywhere. Ah, such a shame, because this is my favourite bed. My next tip is to change your router's aerial. So this is a straightforward omnidirectional antenna. What I'm replacing it with is a directional boost antenna. Now, the part of the house that I'm trying to improve the signal to is downstairs. It's by the window. It's where I like to write my poetry. And to do that, I'll need to angle this down. So the Progresses, Pageants and Entertainments of Queen Elizabeth I is the perfect edition to get the right angle for me. Let's open it just like that. There we go. Oh, there she is, bless her. Look. Oh. My coverage was getting better, but I still couldn't reach my poetry corner. This is a great position for me. I want to sit here, gaze at the trees and write love sonnets, you know. But I can't because my Wi-Fi signal just dropped off. Still not perfect, but I had one final idea that would boost my signal to the furthest parts of the castle, a Wi-Fi extender. This is one, it's actually a router that's got Wi-Fi extender functionality built into it. So my actual router plugged into my broadband connection is about 4 rooms that way. The signal here isn't great, but it's enough for this extender to grab, boost, provide a signal to this room and several rooms that way, and that way. Job done, entire castle covered. There you are, you see. A very strong signal now, which in turn fills me with inspiration. I want to dedicate my poem to Wi-Fi. Ode to Wi-Fi.
Very good.
That was very good.
Yeah. Because I think, you know, in our castles, our homes, we've all got a little black spot where the Wi-Fi doesn't reach, haven't we?
Most of us have a part of our network somewhere that doesn't function efficiently. It's normally where you want to sit with your laptop, isn't it? Yeah. So hopefully some of those tips will have just smoothed out the kinks.
Right, back to this week's challenge. Earlier in the show, Pollyanna and I embarked on a task that would test our patience, precision and multitasking skills to the very limit.
Yes, we had to set up our own food stalls using consumer gadgets and a music festival to feed the hungry masses, and we were hoping it would be a little bit more creative than, say, crisps and instant noodles.
Now, being that the both of us are a little too over-reliant on the microwave in our day-to-day lives, we still had a lot of work to do.
After a disastrous start in our respective kitchens,
they're minging.
This was turning out to be one of our toughest challenges yet.
I was sure festival goers would want something savoury, and what could be better than a juicy burger? I mean, how hard can it be to cook that?
It's all right, it's not burnt, it's charcoal flame grilled.
Meanwhile, I'd set my heart on sweet stuff like smoothies. After all, it's only mashed up fruit with a bit of ice. How could I fail?
I don't know how happy anyone would be to actually receive that.
So So with a new collection of tech, it was time to start preparing for our festival appearances. Come on, squat, Otis.
I needed to choose a good mincer for my burgers. It had to be quick, easy to use and sturdy enough to cope with the inevitable high demand. The proof is obviously in the pudding, but in this case, the truth is in the mincing. So let's get mincing. The L'Equip Mill Blender is not a dedicated mincer, but did a reasonable job.
I could use that. I'm sure that would work well as a burger.
The Kenwood 1600 watt mincer.
That is your quintessential mince.
Good looking mince, but it had a small feeding tube which could be an issue. Finally, I tried the Tritocane Mincer 12. It looked serious and certainly delivered. This is definitely the winner. My only concern is that it might be a little too big for a setup in a burger van.
Meanwhile, I was busy pushing fruit through holes. So, a few blueberries. Testing 3 of the latest juices to see which would give me the best results. First up, L'Equip XL. It juices by spinning the fruit in a centrifuge. It's fast and efficient, but it can leave the juice with a foam head. Not ideal. The Oscar Vital Max uses a slow press to retain more fruity goodness.
The actual juice itself looks quite thick and quite creamy.
It has 2 big drawbacks, a small feeder and it's slow. And lastly, the Huron Slow Juicer. It chews up the fruit using a ball-like attachment.
This one is definitely going to be the one I'm picking. Great juice. However, I don't think one's going to cut the mustard. If I'm going to supply the demand, I'm going to have at least 3 of those.
Now, one of the problems I had earlier with my patties was size. They weren't all the same size. Now, I've realised I'm not the only person in the world with this problem because there are technologies out there that allow you to make uniform patties every time. And I'd found 3 crackers, a neat little plastic burger press that was simple to use. There we are, look at that, perfect. A Spring-O-Matic metal press that left the burgers with a nice pattern on one side. Straight on, bosh, out comes my burger. And a burger press that leaves a little chamber allowing you to make stuffed burgers with cheese or even baked beans. There's cheese in that? Genius. But which one am I going to go for? Well, for speed and attractive-looking burgers, I'm going to use the Spiker-Mat.
So I had my juice sorted, but for smoothies, I'd also need ice. For that, I've got a Palm Springs ice machine. And the Cuisinart ice cream maker for extra creaminess.
It's fully automated. All you have to do is pop all of your ingredients in here, set the dial, and 40 minutes later, you've got lovely homemade ice cream.
And I was going to use a powerful BlendTech blender to mix it all together.
It's kind of not really smoothie-like, but it's milkshake-like. Who wants one?
Whilst I was confident that my smoothies would be a hit, I also wanted to give people something to eat. And so, sticking with my fruit theme, I decided to take a gamble on a pie maker.
I bet it'll make really good fruit pies, which I think will go down a storm.
Of course, the challenges from scratch rule applied here too. So I'd got myself the daddy of food processors, a top-of-the-range Kenwood chef to make the pastry.
I've actually just made pastry. First time ever.
And to help prep the fruit filling, I picked up a neat apple peeler and corer, which proved tech doesn't always have to have batteries to be fun.
Oh, look, it's like an ornament.
And once I got the pastry rolled and the apples stewed, putting together the pies was easy.
I guess we just wait.
For cooking, I could either go for the super-sized George Foreman.
George, there's flames.
Or the cleverly designed Cuisinart model that folds out for extra cooking space. Trouble was, neither of them looked up to the job. I needed to have a think about this, and I had similar issues with the Panasonic bread maker. The idea of having lovely fresh bread for my tasty burgers was great, just a little slow.
Wow, that looks lovely, actually. Okay, I feel like I should share this with Otis.
Oh, man, look at that! Hey? That's proper bread, that.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, my only problem is it takes 2 hours.
Anyway, try this.
What is it? It's like that onion. What's it? It must be apple pie.
With less than a week till the festival, We were looking more like kitchen nightmares than master chefs.
Is that what you're going to feed people at the festival? I've won!
Oh, good tech, gadget heaven for me, kitchen gadgets.
I bet it was.
Seriously, I must admit, even though I'm not great in the... Well, I'm not good in the kitchen whatsoever.
You have never seriously made any pastry?
I haven't made pastry, no. That was actually quite a triumph for me. The mixer was fantastic, but I loved the juicer, the Huron Slow Juicer. Superb.
Well, the tech
really
enabled
superb.
you to make some
Actually
food.
make something,
well
yeah.
done. And your burgers look pretty good too.
This, really simple, great-looking burgers.
Oh, that's a sturdy bit of kit, isn't it? Well, I can't wait to see what they chose, burgers or smoothies. Welcome back. Now, earlier on, Polly and Otis delighted us with their culinary skills, or rather lack of, in a challenge that would eventually see them becoming fast food chefs at a festival.
Yes, we were set the monumental challenge of feeding festival goers throughout the day convenient and speedy snacks, lovingly prepared by using only domestic kitchen gadgets.
Of course, along the way, we discovered that our culinary skills were more Gordon Brown than Gordon Ramsay, so we enlisted the help of some of the best kitchen tech out there in a bid to turn us into lean, mean cooking machines.
Ah, yes, but would it be enough? Because the morning of the festival had arrived and it was very clear that these two had an awful lot to do.
A lot.
After a bit of hands-on research, finding out how the professionals do it, and a day spent trying out domestic tech, we were ready.
I had chosen to make smoothies and apple pies, where Otis had chosen the fast food staple, hamburgers.
Right, so we are here at the festival.
Yes, here at Standon Calling, and, well, it's D-Day, isn't it?
It is indeed. Today is the day that we find out how good our tech is and how good we are.
Yeah. But we're not alone. We do have expert help. We have Claire Lara, who was last year's winner of MasterChef, and we have Felice Tocchini, one of the finest Italian chefs in the country. It would be boys versus girls, with Felice joining me, while Polly was getting Claire's help. Well, you know the boys are going to win, right? Can I get a high five? Nice.
You know what, Claire, we can let them think that, can't we?
Yeah, of course.
Our food vans were surrounded by a tented village of festival goers who were sleeping off the night before. But come lunchtime, 100 of them would be given our very special food vouchers, which they could exchange for our grub. Whoever got the most vouchers would be the winner.
Go on, let's get cracking.
Yeah, let's do it. Felice really liked my Tritacane mincer.
It's a fantastic little machine. I've actually got exactly the same maker. I got a manual one.
Good old-fashioned...
Fantastic little piece of kit.
Excellent.
It's about 30 years old, still working like there's no tomorrow.
With the help of my food processor, Claire made short work of the pastry we would need for the pies. This allowed me to concentrate on stewing the apples on this portable cooker.
Take a look at these. Now, I must admit, this little oven's done a sterling job with the hobs on the top. When you look at the size and how compact it is, you're not quite sure what great a job it'll do. Look at this! No doubting it's a cool piece of tech.
With the pastry made and the apples stewed, we loaded up the pie makers.
First lot of pies are in. Woohoo! High five, Claire!
Yay!
Oh, man, these are going to be the best burgers this festival has ever seen.
Of course.
Any festival.
We're going to beat those girls.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
Yeah, we got a burger.
Wow. Now...
See, that's a nice gadget.
I'm glad you like it. Yeah, but it's a simple one, isn't it? There's no digital read.
I'm a simple man. What do you expect?
I'm beginning to get the idea.
With our pie production line up and running, we moved on to extracting the litres and litres of juice we would need for the smoothies.
OK, we've got some kind of system going here. This is actually quite good. We're getting through these really quickly with Claire chopping. I'm feeding them into the juicer here. And we're getting big amounts of juice, which is fantastic. So what do you actually think to this, Claire? Do you think it's good?
Yeah, I think it's really good, actually. I like the way it separates the pith and the peel and gives you a nice cloudy, thick juice. It's great, yeah.
My first batch of bread was ready. It looked and smelt fantastic, but what would Felice think?
Not bad.
It's not too bad, is it?
Not bad.
Good. Good. We are so going to win this. It's all over for Polly and Claire now.
We were just about ready to start serving, so we celebrated with our first smoothie.
Good team, Polly.
Oh, absolutely. Cheers, honey. That is lush.
Now, one of my big worries whilst doing the research was how on earth I was going to cook large numbers of burgers on a domestic grill. Well, I'd found an answer. You can see us loading up the Summit grill. It's a barbecue. This is the daddy of all barbecues. With its gas-powered 6-burner grill, smoke box and side burner area, this was more than up to the job, which was good news because we had a queue.
Start serving!
3 apple pie, smoothies.
Be right with you guys, I know you're hungry. All that raving.
While Otis's customers were waiting eager to spend their food vouchers, I'd served 3 or 4.
It's better than a burger.
Delicious.
It's great.
But I had to admit, his queue was much bigger.
OK, we were a bit slow off the mark, but a lack of customers wasn't the problem. Keeping up with demand was. Here we go, sir. There you go.
Good taste.
Good taste. Is there a joyous warmth welling up from your stomach right now?
I'm like an oven.
There you go, see?
Without doubt, Otis had the better start, but with our tech performing faultlessly.
Smoothie and apple pie. Smoothie and apple pie.
We were catching up as we went into the final hour.
There's 3 apple pies. Smoothies are literally coming out. Smoothie, absolutely. There you go, folks.
Thank you.
But Team O-Dog wasn't going down without a fight. Do you want cheese on that? We kept on flipping those burgers.
Otis, man, beautiful burger.
I love you too, big man. Suddenly, it was all over.
Stop serving!
But which of us had done enough to win the challenge?
Cheers. Cheers.
Very good. Both of you.
Really, don't you think? Honestly, we took the mickey out of you earlier on in the show, but you really did excel yourself.
Thank you very much.
That was nice.
Thank you.
And you both had really good help as well.
Yes, thank you very much to Felice. He was brilliant.
And Claire was amazing.
So, what happened was we gave 100 of the festival goers a little token to use as currency to choose between the apple pies and the smoothies and the burgers. Yeah. So, who ended up with the most tokens? The sexy clipboard will tell us the answer. So, first of all, Polly.
Yes.
You managed to get 44 tokens.
Basic maths, ladies and gentlemen, which means
the winner of this week's challenge with 56 tokens is Otis Dealey. That was sorry, it was very close.
No, but you both did well.
Do you know what it means?
To the O-Dog.
He is the Burger King.
Yeah.
So bad.
Oh, I do apologise.
And on that rather impressive pun.
Embarrassing.
We'll see you next time.
Bye. See you soon.